284 Media. We're live and direct out of nature's little secrets in my paradise, that is the beautiful British Virgin Islands. We've often heard the age-old anecdote, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it also takes a village to raise and help foster exceptional men and women. Joining us to discuss WIN BVI, an organization that focuses on women empowerment and their upcoming events, are two of the Virgin Islands' best and absolute brightest women of purpose, Miss Alicia Green and Mrs. Luce Hodge-Smith. It's a conversation you don't want to miss. All this and more after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 Media. Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Yes. You want top of all?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Viewers, welcome back. You're watching 284 Media. Ladies, it's so good to see you both live and direct as we seek to return to some level of normalcy. Welcome to you both to our 284 Media studios, Mrs. Luce Hodge-Smith and Miss Alicia Green.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron, for having
You're
us.
absolutely welcome. Now, recently, the organization embarked on, or partnered rather, with the Rotary Club Sunrise of Rotown to replenish the pantry at the Family Support Network. But before we get into that, I want to just highlight, please let us know and the general public who or what is WIN BVI. Tell us about the organization.
Well, I can go. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you 284 for having us this afternoon to talk about WIN. WIN BVI basically follows the model from the WIN Foundation International, which actually extends global support and reform to women. So our model is the same. However, our goal is to really position the organization to offer women in our community a platform for therapeutic analysis, be it spiritual, physical, emotional, and to collaborate with key stakeholders and partners to be able to provide high-level reform for women in our community who have suffered from abuse or other impediments.
Wonderful. Now, as I said before, you recently partnered with the Rotary Club Sunrise of Rotown, and in addition to that, BVI Hands Free. Tell us about the most recent partnership and activity and donation that your group was able to foster.
Well, we have been engaged with the FSN for some years now, and every year we would do a drive to fill their pantry. Except this year, we had to be a little different. Every month we would do a community drive and deliver goods to the FSN office. However, we have to do something a little different now due to COVID-19 and be a bit more creative with how we can partner and assist with FSN. So we had a partnership with the Rotary Club Sunrise of Rotown, where they gave a donation to help fill the pantry. We took that donation and did a big shopping and delivered those goods directly to the FSN pantry. And that is how we think that's the best model for now, with all the restrictions that are being placed with social distancing and persons not wanting to be really in close proximity to others. So we do accept the donations, and we would actually do the shopping for the FSN and then deliver them.
Wonderful. Now, you have an upcoming event. I want to get into that and just speak to a very exciting fundraiser that you have coming up. Let's talk about that.
Well, before we even go to the fundraiser, if I may,
of course,
I wanted to actually talk about our other collaboration with BVI Hands Free, because that was or is in line with our goal and our differentiator as a nonprofit. When we had the first lockdown in April, we partnered with BVI Hands Free They were the behind-the-scenes, hands-on technocrats of the whole operation, where we provided assistance to persons in the community that needed aid. So there was a website where persons registered, and the WIN BVI team, we were the frontliners where we would physically call those persons and assess the need and offer some words of encouragement to them, because there were a lot of people that just couldn't cope with the lockdown. And so that particular initiative was very engaging and very enlightening for us to also observe that our platform is definitely needed at a time like this. And I'm sure Luz would like to share some of her experience in that as well.
Please do.
Sure, of course. And again, thank you very much for having me here on 284 in this particular forum. And a good afternoon to the viewing audience. The collaboration, I should say, that we had with BVI Hands Free was really, really exhilarating. It was so amazing because we stayed from home and we offered assistance to those in need, especially those that had emergencies. What we did, my task was to call the individuals that registered on the Facebook page and confirm what their needs were, and to find out exactly where they were located, because we had some runners who were actually providing the items that they needed. We had folks that needed emergency food. They didn't have any food because they couldn't get out because of the curfew. We had folks that needed Pampers. They needed formulas, and they needed specific formulas. And it was so amazing that, the persons that were actually making the calls to get the items that these folks were asking for, that they actually found the specific baby formulas that they needed. So it was really, really heartwarming, talking to the folks, calming them down, giving them some reassuring words that, things are going to get better, and we're going to make our effort to try to help them in this COVID-19 pandemic situation. So I think at the end, we were able to help, was it 400?
Yes, close to 500.
Wow.
Close to 500 persons with assistance at the end of the day. So it was really exciting and really beneficial for us to be able to help these folks that were in need at that particular time.
Amazing. Now, COVID-19, of course, ladies, you would know is not a very easy time for anyone, particularly a lot of persons, like you mentioned, during the lockdown had a very difficult time. I want to commend you first and foremost for the initiatives that you partnered with BVI Hands Free, particularly during that time, because there was a lot of hysteria. Persons were on edge, and particularly families, mothers, persons with children did not necessarily know how to navigate. So I think particularly in that case, I must commend you. Now, we're going to go into the continued partnership that you did with FSN, but I must ask you, and I don't want to rush the interview at all, we're taking our time, but what makes you different, ladies, from any other nonprofit, particularly with women in the territory? What sets you apart?
You wanna...
Well, WIN, I don't think we had mentioned what WIN is. It's Women in Need Foundation. So it's WIN BVI. And that, as Alicia had mentioned earlier, we're part of a bigger organization, which is WIN Foundation, WIN International Foundation. And what sets us apart is the fact that we have a major fundraiser called Mrs. BVI pageant. But it's not really a pageant in a sense, a traditional pageant, so it's Mrs. BVI show. And what we do is we, invite ladies, married ladies, because it's Mrs., and could be divorced as well as separated, because of the status, the title that they have. And we have a show, and we pre-select our ambassador for the year. And this ambassador presents their platform that they would have selected to present during the selection process. And they help us to advocate and assist in many ways our causes, our efforts to help those women in need. And they also represent the territory and the WIN BVI Foundation, BVI, internationally at the Mrs. Globe pageant. So it's, in addition to that, the pageant or the show is actually our biggest fundraiser.
Okay.
So we use those funds to put right back into our efforts to help women in need. So we have a pageant coming up in 2021. Of course, you may have been aware that we were making efforts to have a
course.
pageant this year, but because of COVID-19, we had to change our plans. But we are working very effortlessly to work towards getting a pageant again back on the grounds for 2021 so that we can select our ambassador to represent not just the territory and this organization, but to represent us outside of the BVI at the international pageant, Mrs. Globe.
Now, Ms. Green,
So-
you, in speaking of the pageant that Mrs. Luz Hodge-Smith just spoke about, you received an award for director within that recent segment, and not only that, Mrs. Chandra Turnbull, she did exceptionally well in representing the territory. Let's go back there for a minute and tell me what it felt like, first and foremost, for you to receive that award, and what was the overall experience like for both yourself and Mrs. Turnbull in representing the territory and doing, I must say, exceptionally well.
Well, I can start by just going back into the history a little bit. We have been aligned with WIN International since 1997 when I met the founder of the organization, Dr. Tracy Campbell.
Okay.
And so being involved with it for such a long space of time, then we decided that we will launch our own chapter back in 2014. And so for me, we were building relationships and helping to reform or transform, as we would call it, our women, because we're not looking for perfect people to align with us. We're all together for that common goal of, empowering and creating stronger women to fulfill their purpose in the family, in the community. And so all those years going by, working hard to really put the BVI on the international stage with the women that we have, I was very elated to be also recognized as a director.
Yes.
The director of the year. It was really rewarding, and I felt as if my efforts were not in vain at that time, because it is a lot of hard work to prepare the women. It's a lot of hard work for us to be communicating and sharing with the international network, and for them to notice that, hey, BVI have some really phenomenal women here. Not only are the candidates phenomenal, but the director is really someone that we need to identify, and recognize. And so to me, it really meant a lot to be awarded that Director of the Year.
Amazing. Well, congratulations again, and I know you guys are making efforts, like Mrs. Luz Hodge-Smith said, to really embark and push forward with the 2021 pageant. Now, let's talk about the recent presentation and the efforts with the Rotary Club of Sunrise to reiterate and to really replenish the pantry, particularly for that fundraiser. And then let's get into an upcoming fundraiser that I really want to share with the public.
FSN.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so FSN, I don't know how to start with them, because they've gone from serving a few families to now having to serve hundreds.
Very true.
Hundreds. And if I am okay to share, I know that their budget has actually been overextended due to the high demand that's coming from those families. And so we have pledged to actually support them in any way possible, but like I said, keeping that pantry up to speed on a weekly basis is very difficult. Now, we are only one in, I don't know how many, but as quick as you can take $500, $600 worth of food, by the next day, it's gone.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
And again, FSN is close to us because it's women, it's family, it's children, and so we are doing our part to partner with them to make sure that the women get what they need to feed their families.
Wonderful. Now tell us about the upcoming fundraiser that you guys have scheduled, a very exciting event.
So COVID-19 caused us to sit, have a meeting, and come up with creative ways that we can not only help ourselves, because we do need funds as well to run our programs, but also to help our partnering organizations like the FSN. So we came up with a virtual balloon pop. What that is we had persons donate gifts to us, and we are going to be popping balloons. It's like an online game show.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we are going to be using our ambassadors. So Mrs. BVI, Chandria Turnbull, will be there. And we're going to also invite our other ambassadors. You may be familiar with Mrs. Angel Cameron, of course.
Of course.
She was a Mrs. BVI. We're going to have Mrs. Zoe Walcott. Miss Zoe Walcott is also going to be helping us. And a few others. One from way back in 2000, Mrs. Pauline Williams. She's also going to be helping us to pop the balloons. And the reason why we want to incorporate them is because once you are an ambassador for WIN, you are always an ambassador with WIN. And so we try to create a little family with the ladies to keep them involved in whatever we're doing, and so they can extend their voices to help with the outreach as well.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations. And of course, viewers, the poster for that balloon pop has been flashing on the screen ever so often. I encourage you to support WIN BVI in this upcoming fundraiser. It sounds pretty fun, and I know the ladies are going to ensure that is exciting. Ladies, I must ask you, as we look around the territory of the Virgin Islands, and of course consider women and their successes, as well as some of the challenges they face, their health and overall well-being, what should we be paying more attention to as it pertains to women in our community? And I'll give you both an opportunity to answer that. When you observe and interact with women of all ages and economic standards, what exactly should we as a country be paying more attention to as it pertains to women and their well-being?
I would like to go first, if I may,
Sure.
because you are actually bringing me to speak about a program we started back in April as well called Reclaiming Me. And I think as much as we are trying to fill the gap with the physical needs, one of the things that we're not paying a lot of attention to is the minds and the emotional state of the women or the community at large. We started a program called Reclaiming Me, and it caused me to do quite a bit of study into narcissism. So it's like narcissistic abuse. And when people hear abuse, sometimes they think it's physical. But no, this abuse is all around us. It's in our churches, it's at work, it's in our community, it's in your house, it's all over. And so the Reclaiming Me program teaches women that are involved, or gives you the tools that you need to be able to tolerate or to combat that type of abuse when it comes, when it's when you're in that environment, number one.
Okay.
Number two, I can tell you that we've had a lot of different women come through that program, and we are, because of that, we are continuing it right to the end of the year. We meet every Thursday online at 7 p.m. We've had many professional women come through. We've had all types of women come through, and at the end of it, they can tell you how rewarding it was just to have the teaching and the conversation after. And then I'll pass it over to Luz now to continue, give her opinion.
Right. Well, I've been approached by women for assistance, particularly those who need assistance with a job, helping them to search for a job, helping them to, to provide a meal for their children or their child. Because of the COVID situation, it has even escalated a bit more, where we find persons, especially women, reaching out for help. So I think that, persons that reach out to help, and most times they reach out to who they trust. And they know that you will keep their, because of course it's a situation that they're in, the pride is still there. So, if someone reaches out, I encourage them to help where they can, because they genuinely need the help. And I help where I can. If I can provide a shopping for them, I do. If I can provide assistance, make a phone call to help them. So, they drop by their application, you make a phone call to help them, to let the person know that, okay, this person stopped by with their application, could you consider their application? So reach out to them, even if they don't reach out to you and you know that they need help, just want to encourage everyone to be each other's helper, each other's keeper. And at this time, just reach out, have a heart, reach out if you have it and you can afford to help, please do. That's all I can say. And the women are out there, they out there, single women, they need assistance with the rent, they need assistance to provide food for their families because at the time they don't have a job. So, just help out where you can afford. And just at this time, they definitely need some help.
And
Well,
if I can add to that, anyone out there needing assistance, same the descriptors that Luz gave, reach out to us at 440-4122. That's our phone number. And we have an email address, winbvi@gmail.com. Again, the number 440-4122, winbvi@gmail.com. Your information will be confidential, and we will definitely do our part to help you to get back into the community, to help build back your self-esteem, to help you to have that self-love that you need to have to raise your family and to love your loved ones.
Ladies, you literally touched on my introduction where I spoke about it taking a village to really help and motivate and impact the lives of not only children, that's what we usually say, but ultimately men and women in our society. And in this case, we see where you are doing your part to really help empower women in our community. I must commend you. Thank you so much. Before we go, I have to ask you, is there any particular requirements, age groups for your membership? If women who are watching this not only need assistance but would like to become a part of your organization, how can they do that?
We would welcome them. We don't have an age limit per se. Just our team is small, and all of us we share the same commitment where we love to help. We love the community, helping the community, and we're also committed to empowering women, making sure that we help each other, equip each other, lift each other up on a daily basis, because sometimes people just need a kind word.
Sure.
That goes a long, long way versus me giving you $50 or $20 in your hand to do something. And so get in contact with us if you'd like to be a part of the movement. We'd welcome you. And to just to answer, Ron, we don't have an age limit.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, again, thank you so much for your time, ladies. We wish you here at 284 Media the utmost of success in all your endeavors. Viewers, that's all the time we have. Of course, that's not all for the day. Be sure to visit our website for daily news updates. And myself and my colleague Kylo, we're going to be touching base on a lot of major issues and topics that have been touching us locally and regionally as well as internationally this evening at 6 p.m. So make sure to tune in. Some of the topics we're going to be looking at, of course, the BVI tourism industry and our border reopen. That's set for December 1st. Rotary Club Sunrise donated 14 laptops to a myriad of students across the territory. The Honorable Mark Vanterpool he's been exempted from vacationing his seat as per a contract. And former Education Minister, he weighs in on his views of the resuming of in-class sessions. We thank you so much for tuning in, and we see you later. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Bye-bye.